All right, first off, disclaimer, this is going to be a two-part series. I'm going to go through how to pass your driving exam without spending a small fortune on lessons. The first part is going to be about the obstacle course, probably the one that you want to train the most, because that shit's hard. And secondly, we're going to focus on traffic. Oh, horses, very nice. That's like horses are like nature's motorcycles, I guess. What we're gonna do today, we're gonna go through the obstacle course, and I'm gonna show you each part, and luckily after this you'll understand how to do the obstacle course. I'm gonna go through some theory about how to maneuver on the bike and all that kind of juicy stuff. So first of all, I'm in Sweden. Our obstacle course might not look as yours, but I watched how you do it in the US, and it's pretty much the same kind of theory. Personally, I think ours harder, but I don't mean to brag. First off, we're gonna start off with the slow part, because most people have a lot of problem with the maneuvering in the slow part, so let's just start with that one. First of all, let's start the bike so you can hear the sound. Pull your clutch in right here, and the key to this is you could actually do like this. You get to where your you get to where your bike starts rolling, and you could just go that. I mean, that's way better. That's probably what you're gonna do once you get the card. You're just gonna do this and you're just gonna roll, because this, you see, this is 6 kilometers an hour. That's a comfortable speed. That's a good speed. But they don't want you to do that on the driving exam. On the driving exam, they want you to show that you can accelerate right. So what you want to do, go out until your bike starts rolling, give it a gas, and then back in. Give it gas and back in. Give it gas and back in. Now I'm going a little fast. It's just because it's downhill and I don't really want to brake. And then for when you go around, look far away. The same kind of thing. And you don't be afraid to take a lot of gas, like this. And as you can see with my left hand, I'm actually doing it wrong, because I haven't done this for such a long time. You don't want to do it like that. How you want to do it to pass your exam easier, hold on. Now I'm just gonna make a normal turn. How you want to do it to pass your exam is you want to keep right here where you start rolling, and then in here and out here and in here and out here. That way you don't get a lot of play. So when you're doing this for a long time, your fingers tend to get tired from this. So hold on, let me show you in neutral. If you keep doing like this, eventually you'll feel your hands, they start to cramp. So by going here in, you eliminate a lot of that play, and you get a much more smooth gas. But even if you know the technique, going like this, maybe you're going like this right here, like I'm doing now, like this. That's not controlled at all, because your posture is super, oh, that's a lot of gravel. It's super important while doing this. The posture is really basic. You're going slow, so the bike can't stabilize itself as it can when you're going high speed. So your knees, squeeze them tight to your bike as you're going, and also sit up straight and look far ahead. Where's the camera? Far ahead. Because if you look right straight down here, you don't know where you're going. You're gonna start trembling. You don't know. So you want to look where you're going. So if I'm gonna use poor posture. Look now. I'm looking straight in front of me, and I can barely tend to get right without struggling a lot. But if instead, hold on, let me turn this shit around back again. Damn, people probably think I'm a retard trying to learn how to ride slow on a bike. Anyways, if instead you sit up straight, put your knees here, you look far ahead, maybe at the white car, and you give gas, and you sit tight, and you sit with a straight back, and you regulate gas. You're going too fast, put a little foot with the foot brake, the back brake. You keep going. And now if I want to turn, the same principle, you look where you want to turn. So I keep my eyes to however I want to turn, and I also keep my knees tight so I can take that turn. Sorry, I went a little gravel there and kind of spilled a little. Anyway, and that's the key. That's the key to actually doing this. And a big tip is you won't probably think about where your knees are. So here's a genius tip. Grab something a little bit taller, maybe. Let's take the Sorry if you're against people pulling branches off stuff, but I just did it. Take this or whatever else you could find, and fuck, this is easier when someone else is doing it to it. Hold that, and you put it here and you squeeze it to your bike like that. Put in the first gear. Did I put my side stand down? Hell God, no, damn it, damn. All right guys, hold on, I got this in the bag. Take that back up after you forgot to put down your side stand. Fuck. All right, get that shit anywhere near your knee, squeeze it tight, and then start doing it. And hold that. You see, I want to hold the stick there as I keep going slowly. That will ensure that I keep my knees tight and that I can go slow. And that is pretty much all there is. You'll need a lot of training with this. I'm dropping that on purpose. You're gonna need like a lot of training. The slow maneuvering part on a bike is the hardest thing to do on a motorcycle, because when you're going fast, the bike stabilizes itself. That's how it's built. It's supposed, if you were going fast and you jumped perfectly back off, it would just keep going straight until something got in its way. But when you're going slow, it wants to tip over. So it's important to remember that every time you're about to fall, you can give it some gas. Not too much. Do zun, zun. Give it some gas and you will regain some of your stability. So let's show that, for example. I'm going like this. Now I'm going in the corner. I feel like I'm gonna fall. Give it some gas. Now give it some gas. Now give it some gas. Oh, I'm about to fall. Give it some gas. Oh, give it some gas. About to fall. Give it some gas. About to fall. Gas. 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 You see? And then you keep your balance. And also, don't be like this, like I did there for a while, because I wasn't about to fall at the same way. You kind of want to, but not too big, of course. But you want to give it a lot of gas. Oh, there's a lot of downhill there. You want to give it a lot of gas when you're actually turning, to ensure that you turn correctly. Then switch your eyes, watch over somewhere else. And now I'm about to fall. Boom. About to fall. Boom. About to fall. Boom. You get the principle. And that's all for the slow maneuvering part, pretty much. And important things to think about when you're going slow on a bike is you gotta be confident. You gotta have good posture, squeeze your knees. You know what, let's actually go through everything we did a little faster. All right, so what we did to ensure our balance during this whole thing is, let's go through all of it. Clutch, you keep it in, you find wherever you start rolling, which is probably around here. You don't have a lot of play, so you have tuk, 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 and every time you go out, you give gas, gas, gas. It's pretty easy. So you go in, no gas, you roll a little, gas, 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 gas. And what that does, it stabilizes the bike. Because bee, oh fuck, shit, I hate bees. Ah, whew, that scared the shit out of me. I've never been stung by a bee, so I'm really scared. Oh my god, I almost died. Anyways, what that does, when you get speed, it stabilizes the bike. So when you're in a corner, you give it some speed, you go, fuck, you're still here, dude? It gives it a little bit of stabilization. You kind of feel a little more cocky. So second, your posture is important. So put your legs tight towards the bike, always. I'm sorry, I thought I recognized that car. Would have been embarrassing. Anyways, you squeeze. You want to become one with the bike. You want to sit upright. You want to look far ahead, so you know what's ahead of you. And you also want to squeeze your knees to the bike, so you're really connected. And don't have a tight grip. You want to have a grip that you can do kind of like this, a loose grip. You want to relax your shoulders. And then when you're in the corner, you look where you're going. So if I want to go over here, I can't just directly look there, because that won't work. So I look 90 degrees there, and I keep taking the turn. And as I take the turn, I keep going until I see where I want to go. And when I see where I want to go, I fixate on that point. It's the same principle when you're cornering. If you target fixation, that means you're looking into the ditch and you go towards the ditch, because you go where you're looking. So for the second part, we're gonna do, let's show a little, let's pretend there's cones, all right? So we can just get the principle down. Let's see if I can find something that looks like cones, so you can just get the principle. Now I'm just gonna show you with exaggerated head moves. If you're doing this with cones, you really want to fixate in a special way. So let's say that metal thing is the first cone and that black car is the second cone. Then I want to look at the first one, that one, and go towards it. But when I'm about here, I want to look to the next one. But at the same time, keep my eyes on where that one was and keep my eyes on the next one. So I put my bike in such a position that when I stop here, I can easily get there. Because if I would have stopped with my nose there, it would be really hard to turn over there. I think you get that principle, that you probably know. But also, very important when you do, I don't know if you have this one, but you got to do a slow U-turn. And the idea there is you go straight. Oh fuck, it's a car. So the slow U-turn, you go slowly and then you put 90 degrees just like before, and you lean your bike into it and you give gas whenever you need to stabilize the bike. And now I want to go there, I fix my eyes there, and then I go there. So it's not that hard, but you're gonna need a lot of practice. Don't get discouraged if it takes some time. It's not easy to ride a motorcycle this slowly. Anyways, let's get the fuck out of here and do some high maneuvering. I'm just gonna show the basic principle here. So when you're doing high maneuvering, the main difference is the speed. You might get discouraged, you might actually like it, I don't know. So when you're doing high maneuver, you want to get up in a comfortable speed. I would recommend around here, around 40. And how we have it here in Sweden is there's a cone you need to swirl by. And the art of swirling is you gotta dare to do like this. You see, like this. You move your handlebars in opposite direction. That's called counter steering. And as you do that, you go around the cones. And what you want to do is look about 3 cones ahead. You don't want to look at the cone you're directly going at. That's gonna discourage you. So when you do that, you just want to go like that. And out of that, it's just counter steering. And I think you know that just by riding a motorcycle. But sometimes it's a little scary when you do it like that. So counter steering, the principle is pretty basic. When you're going slow, if I want to go left, I do like this. But if I do this when I go fast, I'll fly off. So instead, I'll push my bike like this. I go into the corner like that, and I go into the corners like that. That makes me go there and there. Alright, so the counter steering basically works like you get a speed, and look, if I push with my right hand, I go over there. Push with my left hand, I go over there. You see that? I push, I push, I push, I push. I go the opposite direction of what you would think that I'm gonna go. And that's the basic art form. So you want to pull your bike around so you can go like this. And by doing so, you can slither by the cones. And that's the basic principle of that. I'm sorry that I don't have a lot of room to show it. That's a thing. When you start practicing it, you'll master it pretty quickly. It's not that hard. A thing people do have a problem with. So another key to the high maneuvering, which I might be able to show here, is that you want to lean it, not really lean into it. You want to let the bike take over, but you got to move your hips. Because if I just move my hips and I don't move my arms, you see, I'm still rolling a lot. Oh, Jesus Christ, I forgot how high gear I was in. See, if I move my hips, I'm not moving my arms now. I'm just moving my hips. And I move around like this. And that's really important when you're going high maneuver. You need to move your hips with the bike. Because if you don't move your hips and you just move your arms, you're just going to feel like you're going to fall off. And that's eventually what you're going to do when you actually have to make a high maneuver. You're just going to fall off. You're going to end up flat on your ass. And that's why it's important to train this. And so I move my arms and my hips, my arms and my hips, my arms and my hips, like this. And you can't be afraid of pushing it. You gotta push your bike into this. And as you can see, if there's cones in the middle here, I'm going between them. Between, and consistent gas. I don't want to, it's the brakes. So you also gotta try to brake controlling like this. All right? You don't want the ABS to hit in, and you don't want the back wheel to, what is it called? Get stuck? I don't know. Lock up if you don't have ABS. You want to stop controllably. And that's actually really easy to do. You won't have a problem with that if you know all the basics there are to know about that. And not a lot of people do that because otherwise it would be an easy driving thingamajigger. So what you want to do, I'm gonna turn on my bike. So what you want to do when you're doing the brakes is a controlled brake. So usually you say about 70-30 or 60-40 depending on the bike. Most bikes 70-30, maybe a fat cruiser, something else, I don't know, but to just take 70-30 in consideration. So what you want to do when you actually brake is you want to put down your foot just a little like this so you can feel the back brake. So if I'm rolling now, I'm rolling a little and I put it in, I stop completely. You don't want that. You want to roll a little and you want to feel how it slows down. That's about the right amount of foot brake. And when you pull in the brake, it's important that you stop like this, because if you brake and you pull it in like this and you start slowing down and you keep pulling it, you see, that's gonna make it, it's gonna make it lock up. So you want to have a control brake where you pull it in, you keep it in the same position, and the same thing here. But still after that you might feel like you're unstable. That's because it's the same principle as when you're going slow. You gotta sit up straight, squeeze your knees real hard because you're braking in hard and you want to look far ahead. So maybe I can demonstrate a little bit how that looks if I can just find. I'm not gonna get up to such high speeds. I would recommend, I don't know what is called miles per hour, but I would recommend starting at around 40 or 50, then going up to 60, then 70, then 80, then 90. You don't have to do faster than 90. And yeah, let's just show the basic principle here. That's gonna look weird for everyone that's here. But there's a dog over there. Hold on. I don't want to scare the dog by going balls hard here. So there's no cars behind. All right, there's no cars there. So here's the basic thing. You go up in speed. You want to lock your speed, and then you want to like that and put down the foot control. And that's all there is, really. There's nothing more to it than that. And as you can see there, I did something that I actually didn't talk about, and that is lock speed. You don't want to brake immediately when you hit 90. You want to hit it as soon as you can and then have it controlled like this. That's not controlled at all. You get the point. It's a little bumpy here. You want to control your speed. You maybe keep your 90 for a bit and then you want to brake. And usually you want maybe like this. You have something that you can look at and brake once you get close to that. That will help a lot. Let me show you how I mean about that. There's no one behind me. So I have it over there, and when I see that I'm next to it, about here, brake. And that will help you see just how far you rolled, if it was a successful brake, and all that kind of shit. A very interesting thing to keep in mind is actually that braking all you have and letting the ABS take over has a shorter braking distance. However, it is not as controlled. You will not feel in control at all. That's why you learn this brake. So I really hope you like this. I hope it covered everything you wanted it to cover. And yeah, I mean, maybe you wanted to see more high maneuvering or something like that. It's really hard to show when you're not in a position where it's good to show that. But yeah, maybe I can upgrade this video. I can update it, whatever you want. Just tell me what you have problems with. Maybe I can help you down in the comments. Maybe, yeah, just ask me, really, just ask me, and I can help you out. And in case a lot of people have the same problem, I'll make a video on it. See you do this, because then you're gonna fall off. If you can't control your bike, you're gonna fall off. You gotta have a consistent speed, and you gotta maneuver around it consistently. Because if you can't do that yet, if you can't maneuver your bike confidently at a consistent speed, you need to practice that first. That's very important. The only thing you can practice before practicing a lot of the other thing is the slow maneuvering. Because the slow maneuvering can be practiced safely. And that's very importantly. I don't want you to go and do high-speed brakes or high-speed maneuvering before you're confident in controlling your bike. So I might make a short video on just how to control your bike after this one, in case a lot of people have problems just riding a motorcycle. I'll show you that. But this is a beginner's course, of course, but I want you to know what's important when riding a motorcycle. and everything you need to think about when riding a motorcycle. So I really hope this video helped. Tell me if you want to see more. I'll be making a part 2 in traffic, just some general traffic rules that you might not think about. I'm not going to go through every single detail about traffic, that would take years. But I will just go through it a little bit quickly so you can understand. And I'll be making a how to ride as well, and I hope I see you in the next one. And yeah, peace. And I hope my mic was on.